What is up, everybody? It's Zillion Frogs back in another Transformer video review. This time we'll be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Leader Class Skyquake Prime Universe. Now, this is a little bit weird. I mean, Legacy was always weird as Prime figures, where they're either G1ified, kind of like what Bulkhead and RC were, or they had like some design cues from their earlier incarnations. So in this case, as you can see, the jet is primarily based on the Skyquake from the Prime universe, or Prime cartoon, obviously, but then you have some cues, such as these vents and this little back cockpit that is from G2, like Machine Wars Skyquake. So, if you haven't seen that toy, I really want that toy. Look it up. It's honestly really fun, but yeah, it's weird that they both have these design cues from primarily, this is, the Prime cartoon, but it does have like this one little cockpit section. So, yeah. Other than that, jet mode, honestly, really nice. It's really hefty. I mean, it is a leader class, so I would hope it to be, but it's really nice, really solid. I mean, it holds together really well. Landing gear, obviously, so you can fold that up, and as you can see, we also have some weapon storage underneath, so he can fire his minigun, like what he did in the cartoon for the one episode he appeared in. So yeah, that's really fun. I really like the colors. The colors are, this olive green with the highlights of silver and this red kind of, I would say red, I wouldn't say maroon, I don't know, but it works really well. It really does break up that green, decently well. So yeah, this is on the back. These will actually have 5mm ports, so you can actually put stuff in there. The center one, not so much. I mean, it looks like there's like some indentation where you could, but it just won't hold. So yeah, that is the jet mode. So let's just get on to transformation. Now, transformation for Skyquake, I will have to tell you firsthand, it is a mess. So let's just get into it. First, you're gonna take off his minigun accessory, fold up the landing gear. Next, we're gonna come up to these kind of front intakes. We're gonna unpeg those and fold those to the top of the nose cone, and then we're just gonna come to the back wing assembly and kind of unpeg it from the cockpit, and then before we do that, we can unpeg, but before we split it, we have to unpeg what will be the legs from underneath, and then rotate those down on some nice ratchets, softer ratchets, and then fold all those down, and then rotate the thigh like so. Next, we can come to these fins right here, and then unpeg those from the inner leg, flip those around, fill those up, and those will peg into this peg right here. So there we go. We can flip out the feet. Then I kind of like to flip out the thruster like that to make a heel, but it does get in the way, which will not be the only time that things get in the way. Speaking of which, let's get the top half. So now we can split this whole section apart, and then just kind of try to get it out as much as will be possible, like so. Next, we can rotate his waist 90 so that we can swing the whole wing assembly back, like so, revealing his chest. Can rotate those back, and then before we fold all those up, we can come in here and then rotate up will be the arms from the underside, split them like so, or we're just gonna leave them off. Next, and it's gonna be really fun to try to show you on camera. It's gonna, yeah, that's slightly better. So come in here, we're gonna take the nose cone, unpeg it, and fold that down, And then we're going to unpeg the whole cockpit assembly from the top, like so. And then next, fold out, up his shoulder pads. And then we're going to try to tuck, fold the whole cockpit to the back. And then it will peg. It will clip into this clip into the open section of the nose cone. Hopefully. There we go. So it clicked. Next we can come to the back. Take the weird cockpit assemblies and just try to flip them 180 like so. And next we can peg them together again to create a nice tight backpack. Come to the front of the figure and then kind of rotate. Oh, more on that later. Rotate the arms down like so, and then on a double hinge or double, we're gonna flip out the forearms more, flip out the fists, and then there's some panels that they'll slide into. So flip out the fist and then panel wraps around. And after all that, here we have Skyquake. Yep. Here we have Skyquake. Stand up. In his robot mode. Now, Skyquake in his robot mode visually looks great. I love the look of him. He really has, again, that mixture of the Prime Universe with his G2 counterpart, so... And I think it actually works best for him out of all the ones that they've done. I mean, he honestly looks really well, really good. That color, the color scheme, again, that olive green with that nice darker red and silver, and especially that nice, like, kind of translucent orange chest, kind of make it, you know, it makes it pop. It makes it really well looking. Of course, he's not really that fun to play with. The visuals are all that really has. So, I mean, first order business, you saw right there. I mean, he just, every time I move the table, he tumbles. And that's because he really has no heels. That's why, like, I try to move these out like that to give it something, but it really does not work. And with no heels, along he has a massive backpack. And when I first got the figure, I thought that it could, like, especially this section, that could, like, squeeze in even more, you know, into the chest and, like, kind of fill it out a bit more. No. I mean, if I try any more, that thing is going to break. So I don't know if it is a problem on my end or he's just designed to have this massive backpack, but it really weighs the figure down. I mean, no heels, big backpack. He is just floppy. He is toppling all over the place. So that's a shame. But I mean, yeah, I mean that sucks. But so he's not too fun to handle. And coming with accessory, he has his minigun. I mean, it's a nice minigun, nice long minigun. He can hold it, you know, 2 hands if he wants. Boom. Looks kind of intimidating. He does have some nice butterfly joints, which don't snap in any direction, so they just kind of flopple, but at least you get a butterfly joint out of it. We'll talk more about that later. So he can hold it 2-hand style, like that, looking intimidating, and that does kind of balance him out once he does hold the minigun from the back, so that's nice. But as you can see, there's also this clear plastic thing. So what is that? Well, that is his sword that you can pop out. All clear plastic. The top is really finicky. I mean, it feels really kind of cheap pulling it out, but if you want, if you can hold it, you can have him have his sword weapon. It is kind of small. I don't really like it. I tend to just kind of leave it within the minigun. I think the minigun's cooler and a lot more solid. So, but I am grateful for the fact that they do have it for show accuracy. But I mean, it is nice that you can store it in there, and I can forget about it. So Yahoo. Yeah, I mean, he is a leader class, so he is leader class size. Speaking of which, for a size comparison, I have Age of the Prime's Megatronus, which upcoming review on him. Age of the Prime's Alchemist Prime for Deluxe, and then for Voyager, I have United Cybertron Starscream. So he is definitely leader class size. He stands same height as Megatronus, though not as dense. So he feels a bit, light on some things. But oh well. But yeah, let's get on to posability. Now, posability is fine, but this is really where the figure kind of falls apart for me. So first, we have a nice ball-jointed neck, can 360 look up pretty well and look down decently. He also has this nice shifting slider just because to make room for the transformation. So there you are. Shoulder pads are actually on a ball joint and kind of a double hinge, so they can maneuver out whichever way you like, which is really well thought of and appreciated. But here's my main gripe: the shoulders. So going down, the shoulders, they're on ratchets, and so going down, it is just terrible. Going up, you heard, going up, fine, a little squeaky, but they're movable, especially, but going downward, I mean, I don't know if you can hear that really well, but it is just snapping. It is feeling like it's gonna break. I mean, that one's fine. It is mainly my left one that it skips so many clicks, and it just feels like I'm just gonna snap the arm off right at it, which I do not like. I feel like that should have been fixed and much better, but what am I gonna do? So that really worries me, that's probably gonna break sometime. Other than that, got a butterfly joint, as you can see, which can move even more back because just how he is. You have a swivel, which is actually a really tight swivel. Just below that, you have a double hinge. Over at the elbow, we have a wrist swivel, which is appreciated. There is a waist swivel just below everything with the mess. We have ratchet going forward and back. Of course, a nice ratchet split as well. We got a thigh rotation, and then a nice double bend at the knee, so we can actually really kind of get his knee upward, get some nice flying poses if you so want to. And of course, there is the ankle pivot. So posability is alright, but just because of stability and especially those shoulders, I'm afraid to move him because he's just gonna topple over, or I'm just snap the arm off if I try to put the accessory in. So yeah, just not a fun figure to pose. It's kind of a shame because I really like the design. Now, overall, would I recommend him? Not really, which is a shame because I love the design, I love the character, I love his brother, which I kind of wanted to get a repaint of him, but, I mean, of Dreadwin, but given how this figure is, I'm not going to go for it anymore, and that's a shame. It's plagued with so many issues. There's a lot of QC issues, not all things tabbed together properly, just joint issues, the toppling, just not stable. So I wouldn't recommend you really buy him. I mean, maybe if you see him for like $20, but that's the max. I mean, I wouldn't pay full leader price. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. It's been the review for Leader Class Legacy Skyquake. As always, I'm Zillion Froz. I ask you to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.